Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of PolyNerdic Plays Call of Cthulhu, the video game based on a tabletop RPG based on the story by H.P. Lovecraft. We are in chapter 6, I believe. We shall double check here. Yes, we just started chapter 6 last time we played. Let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time than we have to. There are some lengthy loads to this game. We're just going to dive right in and see where this story takes us. Pierce has escaped from the asylum. Bradley, the cop, is back. We don't know what that's about. We saw Bradley die in the opening chapters of the game, but he's still alive now. So who knows how much of what we saw was real and how much of it was insanity. We're back in the Hawkins mansion, though, and I suspect bad shit's a-brewing. Like, that don't look good.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Alright, so this is where we left off. We're gonna go down the stairs and have a little chat.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Like dog shit.
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
That was a weird camera move.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
Yeah, the basement's bad news.
Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah
Yep.
Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree.
Her fingers look weird when she
deserves
does those
the
hand
truth.
movements.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Wouldn't it be great if when you made choices in real life you saw that?
Hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Yeah, you died. I saw you die with my own 2 eyes. Alright, we had a drink. Do we leave? Is that what we're doing? Head on out? Yep. Walk out that door, right to the Sanders residence. We're gonna have to fight the Shambler, aren't we? Or at least confront it. Come on, load time. My one real gripe with this game.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here.
Ha! It's that lady. Cat? Something? Yeah, cat.
You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
He died screaming.
I expected to find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir. I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate, at least that of my husband. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria and grieving widow in my voice. Rest assured, however, my anger is real. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Yeah, it's a what they call a focus home interactive game. So it's the animation isn't the greatest. They were the same people that put out Vampire and Plague Tale, Innocence, and some other stuff.
So ask Fuller. He's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you. You'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
Just like the way her hair doesn't
He
move.
takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
see
here
what you
to
mean.
condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A Shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
Yeah, we're gonna fight the
It
Shambler at
is
some
my
point.
only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Alright, where are we going? We got... Get over here.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Did she really care for him after all?
Alright, detective vision time. Ah, get off the
House
thing.
of Artists.
How much more do I have to be on it to... I gotta squat down here to look at this? Well, this one just doesn't want to react, does it? Game, are you broken? There appears to be nothing else to look at but the cup. There it is.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Okay.
A House of Artists.
Is there something else to look at in this room? Ah, here we are.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Isn't it obvious? The Shambler, man. She was afraid of the Shambler.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
My guess is no, since he was excited to have the painting.
She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
Ah, he tore his own eyes out.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Alright. Alright, let's go look for the thing that made the guy tear his eyes out.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Like this one right here.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes.
Did he start playing music while he was recording this stuff?
I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything.
Can I find other cylinders?
I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyes. Each time I shut my eyes.
What do we got here? Alright, we'll get a little bit better at medicine now. Alright, we'll go over here. That door is also locked. Husband's office.
A
we have
strange
here?
Amerindian pendant. I could use one of those.
Sleeping pills.
Strange.
Dig around this guy's file
For
cabinets.
months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Why'd she give it away?
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
I got a key to the Sanders Gallery. Huh. I read the book. I wonder if that's gonna be my end. Myself a trophy. Or an achievement. I'm sorry, this is Xbox, not PlayStation. I got 2 of them. Yeah, I read the unholy book. That's gonna be my end, isn't it?
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to
Not here to
cause
create pressure.
trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm
That
here
seems
on
like
business.
getting in her way.
Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
I don't know if I agree with that, but... No. Alright. Place to hide. That's not a good sign. Looks like a bow out of Skyrim. With some tablets. Sanders was big on the occult, I see.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Yep. Weird statue. Weird carving thing.
The public entrance to the gallery.
Yeah, there's the Shambler painting. So we're going to stay away from it for a minute. We're going to explore. Don't want to trigger the boss encounter, right?
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
And tablets with weird glowy writing. Yeah, not a weird collection at all. Can we... He's... My lantern oil. That's all he says is when I look at the knife.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Art. Loosely applied here, I guess, right? I had weird taste. He said, at that one. For some reason.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Okay, so that seems to be the correct response then. He's supposed to just grunt at some of these. Alright, so it gave me one. Let's count the places to hide. One in that room. One in this room. So there's two places to hide and a big empty space. Semi-empty space. Alright, let's approach this evil painting. Turn into layers of fear on us. Oh, cool. I was gonna say, probably hide, dude. Like, don't, hang out in front of the thing where the thing can, this ripping out of the painting can see you. Alright.
What the hell was that?
And where the hell did it go? Okay, well, it found me. Get up and run. Let's run. we hid. Apparently he's afraid of closets.
I can't even touch it.
Oh, it found me. And dead. Just like that. So what are we gonna do? What do we have to do here?
What the hell was that?
It's a thing you can't look directly at either. Like it found me. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to run. Alright, try this again. Okay. Okay, alright. I've learned what I need to do.
What the hell was that?
So we're just gonna try to make our way over there.
Damn. This dagger looks different.
Hopefully we got it in time. Ooh, I think we did. I think we did. I think we got it in time. Nope, it's right outside. I almost came out. Run for the painting! Run for the painting! Got it! Ah, fuck you, monster. Why is my arm dissolving? Can't do it.
What's the matter with you?
That's close.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective.
Yeah, that was real close.
At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't say anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
The painting was cursed.
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself
that's
lucky
quite
that
the
I
leap.
saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the
Oh, yeah?
ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment
Man,
for
that was
being
close.
my canary.
running
A simple
running to the
trade-off.
painting.
Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
She has remarkably stiff hair. That also looks lighter than it did last time we saw her. It wasn't really a hard fight. It was die twice and then figure out what to do. They oversell that sequence when they call it a hard fight. It's not like I was in there trading blows with the damn thing. All right.
Where's the bookseller? Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Her diary is everywhere. She wrote volumes.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
And has largely been discredited. Alright, there we go. Gotta check all the shelves for the collectibles that are in the environment here. I love how so many lanterns in this game give off like a weird green light. I'm not an expert, but that skull looks a little large. Man, getting all the skill books.
What happened here?
I mean, it doesn't look like much of anything happened here.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. To whom does this footprint belong? No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then? What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
A book. What if it was the unholy book I read that affected my destiny?
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
It is a small island after all.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Are we gonna have some sort of safe cracking minigame?
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Okay, what are we doing here? A little puzzle time. Medicine's just rising there. You can find all the medical books. So we need to go back out here, I guess, and combinations hidden.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Things that should not be.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Does he have the correct machinery to do so in here somewhere? Or do I need to go back to the one place and then come back here? I don't know. Let's see, you got lantern oil.
Things are not looking good. A kind of chalice. What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Okay. So do I need to leave and come back? No. No. How do I listen to this? Can I listen to the cylinders in the menu? Nope, wrong button. Let's go ahead and level up while we're at it too. Right. Okay, so, but where do I listen to these fucking things? Oh, here we are. Didn't see this in the corner.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Okay, the Grail.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods.
Chessboard.
Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Alright, so Grail.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
Cracked, I see that. I can't turn it though, I can only rotate it.
The Queen has little protection. The Queen has little protection.
And volume 9, he said.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about.
Two of the same
What
volume?
did Drake say about this collection?
He said volume 9, right?
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
Now they're all 8?
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about.
I wish you didn't have something to say every time I looked at
one. So these are
one.
the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
There it is. Okay. So... Okay. Okay. I just went ahead and cheated and looked up the answer. I was overthinking it. That's a lot of dead animals. No, how do I rotate? There we go, we're in. Dusty old book. That's always a good sign. Done fucked up, Pierce. Back to the Institute. I think we might be calling it here. This might be a good stopping point. I feel like this is a good stopping point. Yeah, looking at the clock, we're just after 9 o'clock now. I've only got a little bit of time left before I need to get my ass in bed. So I'm going to end this right here, and we're going to pick up next time we play. Right here on Chapter 8. We're kind of in the midpoint of the story. There's 14 chapters in all, and we just left 7. So this is a good point to end it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming by, watching this B-level game of a great story. It's not a perfect game, but I've enjoyed it thus far, and we got through the Shambler bit, so I feel like we did accomplish something in this nearly hour-long stream. But I'm going to sign off now and get this ready to upload to YouTube tomorrow morning and go to bed so I can start my work week. See you next time.